welcome back to all of my friends, fans, and fellow FTFLers to the longest weekly running episodic fantasy football update show. That's right, it is the FTFL Weekly Update, and I am not only the host of this show, not only the owner of the Hulkamaniacs, but as the drip hanging over my shoulder constantly reminds each and every one of you jabronis, your league champion, baby. Woo! That's right, Spread Sieber back again. Week 2 is in the books, and week 2 was all about blowouts. Now, I'm not talking of the diaper variety. I've seen plenty of those in my day. Ish gross, and I'm sure, Linkowitz, you're probably not far from a few of your own, though you just being as old as you are. Also, that would be cringy. Now, other cringy-worthy moments abounded this week, and just as another, I guess, public service announcement. Not regarding blowouts, Linkowitz, you're safe on this one. No. We're 2 weeks in. 2 weeks. 2 weeks does not a season make. Nor, if you were to go back to 2003 and all of your favorites, the purple. Oh, you know what just grinds my gears? You know what just drives me nuts? When I turn on the radio and I hear them talk about the purple. Oh, gross-ish. No. But 2003... your beloved purple, they won not the first week, not the second week, not the third, fourth, fifth. No. They won 6 weeks in a row to start the season. They were 6-0, and they still missed the playoffs. Mind you, boys and girls, there are 14 games in our regular season schedule, and we have only played 2, meaning there are 12 left. If my Brawlerville math is correct, that is 3 months of football. Whole lot of football left, so let's all just continue to calm down. Now, I know some of you this week are looking at the trade that went down thinking, well, Brett, maybe you should take some of that medicine you're doling out to the delusional Vikings fans. My track record with trades, especially as of late, relatively clear. However, Dalvin Cook, I acquired in a trade before last season. Did he help me win the fantasy championship? I suppose I won by 1 point, and he did have a singular point in the fantasy bowl, but he and the purple taint that comes with him is out the door, along with Gabe Davis, who I liked coming into this season, and my first round pick next year, and coming back, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who closed out the season last year as the best receiver in fantasy and has picked up right where he left off, a 6th round pick, and none than the Showtime himself, Aaron Jones. Welcome home, baby. The two-headed Packers running back monster is going to start running wild all over this damn league. Also, while doing scores this week, a name popped up on the score sheet that made me take a step back and go, whoa, that dude is still going. We'll have an ode to him in a little while. And lastly, of course, yes, it is just 2 weeks in. However, some early developments have a first to worst. This guy into worst to first, which leads us into our next, and well, I suppose our first game this week. The 1-0 Radioactive Monkey Cellar Dwellers, last year worst team arguably in FTFL history, taking on Dickweed, who is also 1-0. Someone's had to go 110.5 for Salty, 81.5 for John. If you're Saltmarsh, you benefited greatly, of course, from Stefan Diggs, 36 points. Kyler Stupidface, not Junior, because he's the only stupid face I know. Murray, 20 points. San Fran's defense, 14. Brandon McManus, 12. Clyde, after a big week, kind of fell back this week to 8 points. Adam Thielen, just 4 points, a non-existent part of the Vikings' vaunted offense. How'd that look on Monday night? Anyway, Salty so far this season, 206.5 points. If you remember last year in 14 games, he failed to score under 1,000 points. He is already 21% of the point total scored this year, as all of last year, only 1/7 into the season. At this point, he is on track for 1,400 points, which would blow his point total out of the water from last year. We'll see what happens. If you're John, you're hoping that Justin Herbert's cartilage injury isn't one that keeps him out of games, because 24 points a week is not bad. The Buffalo defense just ravaged Tennessee for 21. Evan McPherson, 13. DeAndre still hobbling around, just scoring points. Swift, 11 points. Jerry Jeudy, half point. Kenneth, I didn't gain yards well, half point. Cole Kmet, 0 points. If those three players play a little bit better, maybe John is in this game. By the way, John did have the smallest deficit this week at 29 points. That's right. The rest of us got beat by more than that. Shame on all of us. Cole Kmet, by the way, a tight end who I am a fan of. I love that tight end. He was coming into this year supposed to be maybe Chicago's best weapon. In 2 games, he has 2 targets and 0 receptions, 0 points. Something's got to give there. John's backup quarterback, Trey Lance, IR, gone, and enter back into the picture John's favorite Jimmy other than his own, Jimmy Garoppolo. Welcome back to the FTFL in the starting lineup. John now falls to 1-1. Next up, D's Nuts coming in at 1-0, taking on the Mixing Cocktails at 0-1. 94 for Andy, a putrid 53.5 for D's Nuts. If you're Andy, Jalen Hurts ran wild all over the Vikings on Monday night for 30 points. Amon-Ra, bye-bye, St. Brown. You're now on the champs team, baby. 28.5 points for him. Ed McCaffrey, Jesus, that was his father. Christian McCaffrey, 10 points. Sanders, 5.5 in the starting lineup. Andy's keeper, Aaron Showtime Jones, who also now is on my team, 23.5 points. That is a Vingy, cringy nominee if I've ever seen one. Granted, didn't need it because, of course, Swart did nothing. Michael Thomas continues his touchdown ways and his comeback, 13 points. Joe, the big mistake, Burrow, 10 points. Alan Lazard sees some action, 7 points. Cots. Nope, that says Colts. The Colts defense, 0 points. Matthew Stafford, 22 on the bench. Wouldn't have mattered. Swart and Andy both now 1-1. Last game here before we get to that player I was talking about earlier. Pack Attack coming in at 1-0, taking on the Valhalla less than Vandals at 0-1. And the Vandals will fall to 0-2 because 15.5 points just ain't going to get it done, especially when your opponent scores 113.5. Josh Allen, he of former Adam Swartz' team, 34 points for Eric. Eric's loving that, just like him some McDonald's. Tampa Bay's defense, 25 points. Good Lord. I hope the Packers are really able to knock that back a peg. Sorry, Eric, this weekend. Cooper Kupp, 23.5. Justin Tucker, 10. Cordell Patterson, who last week was on the bench, was in the starting lineup this week, 2 points as opposed to 15.5 last week. Derrick Henry, 6 points. I was saying before the season, Derrick Henry, I'm a little nervous as to where that is headed. In 2020, he averaged 16 points. In 2021, he averaged 18.6 points. This year, he's on a 5-point average. Now, I know it's a small sample size, but I think his style, his usage over the last handful of years, I'm not expecting big things out of him. Mike Williams. Why is Mike Williams on your bench? Again, I know you didn't need it, but that dude's a stud. 16 points for him. If you're Peter, Patrick Mahomes, 20. The KC's defense, 10. And really nothing else to talk about outside of a Vingy, cringy moment when you started J.K. Dobbins, who wasn't even going to play. Dude, address the running back situation or you're going to become this year's salty. All right. So I've been in fantasy football now for 20 plus years. Started in, I believe 7th grade with Jeff Marks and Ryan Nye and Ryan Nye's mom. No, not the way you think. We were young boys. This is getting worse by the moment. Anyways, in all of those years, I've seen players come and go. Some players, though, longevity-wise, is really, truly amazing. Obviously, Tom Brady, outstanding. Aaron Rodgers, can't complain. Those are those big names that you just, that trump everything else. But there was a name I came across this week that I was like, holy crap, he's still going. Robbie Gould, the kicker. This dude has been around. This is his 18th NFL season. 18 NFL season. The dude was born December 6th. He was an undrafted free agent out of Penn State. He was signed by the Patriots and then cut. He was signed by the Ravens and then cut. He went off to do construction until October 9th. He was called by the Bears and said, hey, we need you to come in and be our kicker because Doug Bryan got hurt in week 3. Now, wait, if you're a Vikings fan, one of those delusional folks that I put on the list last week, you're going, Doug Bryan, that name sounds... Yeah, it should. Dude played 6 games for you. His 6th and final game was the one where he missed 2 extra points in one game, prompting... Paul Allen is one of his greatest calls of all time. No! And then get that man out of here. Oh, music to my ears. I love hearing the angry Paul Allen. Anyways, finally signed on with the Bears. He was with the Bears from 2005 to 2015. He was released in a cost-saving move. And I remember that at the time, they didn't want to pay him. He had been around for 10, 11 seasons. I'm sure the thought was, what else does this guy have left in his leg? Jesus, if they only knew. That was 2015, boys and girls. In 2016, he was signed by the Giants again into the season, October 20th, because their kicker, Josh Brown, was embroiled in a domestic dispute case. He went on to kick 10 out of 10 field goals for the Giants and a handful of extra points, and they said, you know what? We're going to go ahead and move on from you. The 49ers scooped him up. He has been there ever since. This dude is an 86.6% field goal career percentage. He's 13th all-time NFL scorer. Since Robbie Gould, the Bears have gone through 5 kickers. Kind of sounds a little bit like the Vikings, who probably should have kept Daniel Carlson all those years ago. But this isn't about him. This is about Robbie Gould. And so then I thought, well, this man obviously has been a great NFL kicker, and he's hung around the NFL for a long, long time. So probably then that means he's been a really good fantasy kicker as well. I averaged it out. Over all the seasons in the FTFL, he has averaged out to be the 16th best kicker. He is high as number 1, low as 33rd. 16th. You're going, well, wait, we only have 10 teams. Right. He's probably not even a kicker that should be rostered. However, he has been over the years. He's been a really great kicker, and it's amazing to think that he has done it as long as he has. And so to you, my friend, I can't even tip my cap. I'll just give the show the belt. Sorry, boys and girls. Wrong. It's not a belt. That's for holding up your pants. Championship title. Robbie Gould, your champion in my book. All right. Well, speaking of champions, like myself, the Hulkamania is coming at 0-1, taking on Mana, 4-time Lucky Pants, breaking and entering, titling, stealing champ Mana at 1-0. And the muscles were flexed, career games were had. Jeff Marks said this was a statement game. Good, you made a statement in week 2. How about you make a statement, I don't know, somewhere else later in the season, maybe when it matters a little bit more, or maybe just maybe in the championship game. How about that? You couldn't, because last year that was this guy. Anyways, Marks are 145.5, tied for 9th all-time. It is Jeff's first entry in the top 10 all-time scores in league history. 145.5 for him, 85 for me. And you're going, wow, Brett, again, this is, you're struggling. Sure, I'm 0-2. I understand that. It's been a tough start. It isn't how I hoped to have started. I'm taking L's like Deesum's mom making the county fair circuit, entering herself in all those who's got the most teeth contests. Trust me, friends, it hasn't been pretty. However, I've scored more points the first 2 weeks of this year than I did last year, and I don't think I need to remind you what happened last year, because the whole time you're watching this, the glare from the drip over my shoulder is making it tough to see. That's right. I won the title then, and I will win the title now. And I'm not alone in thinking this. Many, many celebrities, star athletes, people in high places, because as the champ, boy, do I know people in high places, reached out this week to encourage me, words of wisdom, and just overall to say, hey, it's going to be okay. One of them was this guy.
And we have some things to fix, and we're going to get there. I'm optimistic. I'm always optimistic. We got to have faith. We got to keep putting in the work. And I do believe we're going to get there. We'll get there.
There you have it. I'm not the only one whose confidence level is sky high. If you're Jeff, though, Lamar Jackson, 44 points. Ain't going to happen every week. Jalen Waddle, 27.5 points. Ain't going to happen every week. Nick Chubb. Now, he helped Jeff win, but he did help his Browns lose by being selfish and a ball hog, 25.5 points. Had to score that third touchdown, didn't you, Chubb? Jeff Chubb was riding high this week. But again, not every week is it going to be standing that tall. Darrell Waller, 11 points. Ryan Suckup, 10 points. Jonathan Taylor, darling of the fantasy football, 4.5. Jeff's prized rookie keeper, who, by the way, I offered him a second-round pick before the season started. Maybe that finds its way on the Vingy Cringy list as the season goes along. He only had 3.5 points. To everyone on the FTFL Weekly Update's favorite running back, James Robinson. 15 points through 2 weeks. My good friend James Robinson is at 31.5 points, and Travis Etienne, 8.5. We're going to keep track because that's what we do here on the update. We gave James Robinson all of his flowers, and we want people to know that he is the guy and not Travis Etienne. For me, Rashad Bateman, 18 points, 31 on the season. My rookie keeper, who I did offer up, I believe, in that trade as well. My rookie keeper and a second-round pick for old Bozo Etienne. Way to go, Markser. I know you beat me, but this is short term. It's not a sprint, buddy. It's a marathon. T. Higgins, Tyler Bass both had 13 points. Russell, my favorite quarterback in the history of the league. Wilson, 10 points. Cook and Dillon and Williams, the three of them combined for 12.5 points. Dalvin Cook, I acquired after the 2020 season. He averaged 18 points. In 2021, he averaged 10.7 points. In 2022, he averaged 11.5 points. I acquired him for last year. Take that back. So in the two previous seasons before I got him, 18 and 16.7. 11.5 last year. 15th best running back. He now, this year, has 11 points, I think, total in 2 weeks. It was time for the dude to go. See you later. Best of luck. Holy cow, the title fell over. I hope that wasn't some sort of weird ghost of Dalvin Cook karma coming back. Anyways, yeah, the 1 point in the Fantasy Bowl will forever be thankful for you. Now, one other piece of note for my team. Of course, week 1, I didn't play Zach Ertz because the Cardinals medical staff said he wasn't going to play. I played Mike Gesicki, who did terrible. Do you know what I had to do? I had to go out and find a new tight end because maybe Zach Ertz won't play. And I've been told that Mike Gesicki wasn't part of the Dolphins' offensive plans. In fact, there were rumors they were even trying to trade him. So what does Mike Gesicki go out and do the week after I let him go? Oh, he scores a touchdown. You know what that means? I'll tell you what that means. Let's get the champs list down because Frank Smith, offensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, you bum. Are you kidding me? Make a decision. Decide. Gesicki's in or Gesicki's out. People like me are counting on you, the professional, to know what you're doing. Frank Smith, you just made the list. Oh, that's right. And that's a place, I'll tell you, Mr. Smith, you don't want to be. All right, one last game here before we wrap this up. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm being told... Wait. We've got breaking news. There's breaking news. Let's cut over to the breaking news desk. Brent, take it away. Thank you, Brett. Yes, breaking news. This just in. It says here that Sid Hagen, owner of Am I supposed to say this? That's the new name, huh? All right, owner of hashtag Team Dead Horse has yet to make a pickup in why is this new? I don't understand why this is. Wait, hold on. Oh, I see. It's right here. I'll keep reading. Has yet to make a pickup yet this season. The excuse me. Free agency period has been open for 3 weeks. And he has yet to spend $1. Of course, this is significant because year in and year out, Sid does spend the most amount of money in the league. And last year, if you recall, it says that before week 1 even started, Sid had already spent $5. $5. I think that's what, you know what? There's no reason to make fun of the poor lady. And so it's never mind. Anyways, yes, breaking news. Sid has yet to spend $1. That's really quite something. All right, that has been your special report. This is Brent Stebner sending it back to, go ahead there, Brett. I mean, a feat unto itself. Bravo, team hashtag Dead Horse and Sid Hagen. I don't know how long this is going to last. However, after this week, maybe you feel like you got the team you need because hashtag Team Dead Horse came in at 0-1, taking on the Architect. And again, the reverse of Salty and John, someone's had to go. Kramer... Team Dead Horse, 115. Architect, 78. If you're Sid, Tyreek Hill blew it up for 37.5 points. Mark Andrews, 16.5. Daniel Carlson, who we talked a little bit about earlier, 13. Cortland Sutton, 11.5. Kirk, I almost missed the box filled with blue powder from 10 feet away for my, gender reveal for my own kid cousins. 10 points. On the bench, Tua Tagovailoa had 52 points. 52 damn points. Had he played him, Sid would have been a half point away from the all-time record in FTFL history. Now, Tua Tagovailoa's 52 points was tied for the 9th greatest ever fantasy game in the history of the FTFL, and there he was on the bench. Boy, had you not won, Vinci Cringy for certain. The architect, not much better at all. 19 points for Christian Kirk, 16 for Derek Carr. Elijah Moore, 9.5. I don't think that, no, sorry. DJ Moore, 9.5. Robbie Gold, 9 points for him. Zeke Elliott still can't quite rise up, 2.5 points. If that doesn't turn soon, maybe he falls out of the starting lineup. All right, folks, stud to dud, and the Vinci stud of the week, Stephon Diggs, 36. Jeff's whole team was just stud-worthy, and Tua for 52 points. Holy crap. Now, a lot of people bag on Tua and his abilities. I just look at that kid and see bona fide winner. A champ like me. Dud of the week, Cole Kmet, back-to-back, 0 points, 2 targets in the season. Something's got to turn around there in Chicago. J.K. Dobbins with 0 points, not even on the field. Peter, maybe you should be the dud for that. Zeke Elliott, also 2.5 points. And the cringy, because of Dobbins, goes to Peter this week. You can't start a player that's not going to play and expect to have a lot of success here in the FTFL. All right, week 3 is the first go-round of the North versus the South. Hulkamaniacs at 0-2 coming in to take on the Pack Attack at 2-0. And Pack Attack, you are going to just suffer. Because on Sunday afternoon, when you're watching the Packers and Dylan and Jones are running wild, you're going to want to cheer, and you are going to want to cry. It is going to be a whirlwind of emotions. Good luck with that, buddy. Mixing Cocktails at 1-1, taking on the Architect at 0-2. D's Nuts at 1-1, taking on the Undefeated Monkeys at 2-0. Dickweed 1-1, taking on Dead Horse at 1-1. Valhalla still looking to get off the schneid at 0-2, taking on the Thundering Mana, 4-time Lucky Pants, title stealing, breaking and entering champ Mana at 2-0. That's it for the show this week, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm having a blast, even though I haven't found the win column yet. I got a good feeling about this week. Until next time, my friends, peace!